Good afternoon. Just a few reminders before we get going here. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, the coaches, and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Also a reminder, press conference recording on your cell phone is prohibited. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question. During the press conference, we'll have 2 mic runners. Please wait for the microphone to reach you before asking a question. If you are joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We will address questions in the room first and take questions from Zoom if time permits. Now joining us as members of the Arizona Wildcats, head coach Chip Hale, Owen Kremkowski, Adonis Guzman, and Mason White. We'll begin with a statement from Coach Hale, then we'll open it up to questions from the student athletes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough game, hard fought. Both teams, I thought, played their tails off, and some funky plays in there, some hit batsmen, some funky bunts. But in the end, it came down to some great 2-strike hitting by them. Great pitch, almost on the ground. Guy dunks it into right for a double, and then they get jammed and hit a ball into center for a base hit. So obviously the 2 runs that Tony gave up, those hurt too, because we ended up getting first and third, nobody out. But that's the reason. That's why they have the record they have, and they've been able to run so many off. They have a lot of confidence, and hopefully we'll get another shot on them.
We'll open up questions for the student athletes.
Hi, Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald. Owen, you rallied from it, but if you could walk through what happened on that bunt, what you saw as you're coming off the mound and what you felt as you hit the ground.
I saw the ball was going to be up in the air for a while, and I didn't see anyone really near it, so I knew I was going to have to make a play on it and just went all out for it, I guess, trying to make something happen. Ended up with a tough situation out of it, but play that I wish I could have made again, but it happens.
Brian Peterson, AZ Desert Swarm. Mason, on the at-bat that you eventually got hit, did you point out the balk in your own way, or did you see what had happened in there? And just that at-bat in general and the inning where you guys did so much without ever getting the ball out of the infield?
Yeah, I heard a home plate umpire scream balk, so I wanted to make sure, I don't know, just reaction. But, yeah, it was a good inning. Wish we could have capitalized a little more. We left some guys out there, but it's all right.
Noah Bieniek, 11.7. Adonis, on your bunt, can you walk me through the scenario and what was exactly the play call? And then when the ball gets past the pitcher, what were the thoughts running through your mind as you're running down the first baseline?
Going into that bat, they took a mound visit, so we took a timeout, and I knew I was going to bunt. I got to 2-0, gave me a green light, swing away, didn't like it, and they said bunt. He had a little ride, he throws hard, so I was just trying to get on top of it. And thankfully, I squeezed it past the defenders, but yeah.
Javier Morales, All Sports Tucson. Mason, can you talk about, you guys have faced adversity before, like in an opening of a series, first game at North Carolina. What can you take from that experience to go forward here?
Yeah, it's a familiar feeling being at the bottom in a tough situation, in a tough spot. Like we're going to have to play on Sunday. We're going to play a really good team, whoever that is. We did it twice in North Carolina. We battled, and then that's what our whole season's been. It's just been battling back from tough things we've had to face.
For all the players, can you speak a little bit more on just the experience that you've had where falling that first game, even during the regular season, and coming back to win series?
Yeah, I think this is a group that we want to do it with. Like, this is all the guys we feel most confident doing it with. We've done it before, so it's just taking it pitch by pitch and knowing that it can happen. If we trust it, it will happen. So just trusting everyone we got with us is the biggest part for us right now.
Question for Mason and Adolis. What did you think of their starter? It felt like y'all kind of started to tag him as y'all went through the second time in the lineup.
Yeah, I was just trying to – I knew he liked his heater, has a little bit of sink, so I was trying to see a hitter and put a ball and play hard, but yeah.
Yeah, he was thinking the ball and sweeping it pretty well. He's locating too, so what you had to do against him is jump the mistake, and so we started to do that as the game went forward.
Owen, Adonis, Mason, thank you.
Thank
you.
We'll now open it up to questions for Coach.
Hey, Coach, Sam from the Omaha World Herald. I would like for you to speak to the bunt play too. What you had hoped had happened there, what did happen, and then also how Owen kind of rallied from that. He didn't let that keep him down, but that specific play, because it kind of led to some runs for them.
Well, it led to 2 runs. So, the ball went up, and it didn't look like Adonis could see it. He was looking behind him, and then Maddox was at third. He didn't get a good break in. So Owen's a great athlete. That's a play he makes, and he had it in his glove. I think when he hit the ground, it just got jarred out. But again, that's what we talked about before the game. Other than that bunt, we did a really good job of defending. Their bunt is a big play for them, the hit batsman and the bunt. So I thought we did a really good job. And you're right. He limited the damage beautifully there, gave up the 2 runs. We moved on, and we're able to stay in the game. So, yeah.
Coach, I expect that, you scouted them pretty well, but did you expect that Fluky would come out of the bullpen and face you guys today?
You expect anything in these situations. Yeah, I was surprised by Eckhoff starting, and then after watching him pitch the first couple innings, I understood why they started him. He was a really good matchup against our guys. The guy said, he was sinking it really well, and he was using his breaking ball a lot more than we're used to right on left. And then, I'm not surprised. They're probably gonna use everybody they can every game, just like we're gonna have to now. Where our backs are against the wall.
Yeah, Chip, Aria Gerson from USA Today. You've both played and coached on a lot of teams that have won a lot of games even after battling back from deficits. How are you going to use that experience to guide this team, your first time leading this team in Omaha?
Yeah, I think that the point that I tried to make after the game was, the zoo, everything that goes on with Omaha that's really cool and really fun is over for us. You know what I mean? It's back to foxhole mentality, playing for each other, and just worrying about baseball. They got a lot of family here, a lot of friends, and they're going to have to make some hard decisions to get themselves ready for Sunday. Luckily we get a day off, so we have a nice event tomorrow we'll go to. We'll get a good practice in, and then we'll be ready for one of the 2 teams that's playing after this. That's all it is. They've done it all year. We've lost Fridays in one series. It's going to be tougher because, this is that four-team deal. So it's not just like winning 2 more games. We're going to have to win a bunch of games. And to do that, we're just going to have to fight and battle and scratch. I was very proud of him in the 9th. We had the tying run at the plate. We pinch hit Dom, and he, had a tough at bat, and then Brendan hit the ball just a few feet the other way. It's a base hit, and we keep it going. So they keep fighting. They're not going to stop fighting.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central coach. You have a fantastic catcher that frames. Coastal also has one. Is that something that makes the scouting report about expanding the zone with guys like that behind the plate?
Yeah, obviously Donnie does a nice job, but Bodine was fantastic. He's one of the best players in the country, and I was really impressed by it. And it's a tough thing because I come from the old school, so when you see guys doing that, I just am shocked that umpires call strikes when they move the ball that much. But they get them, and everybody, all the old guys get upset with the one-knee catchers and this and that. And there's a reason why we do it, And I tell guys, hey, there's a reason why they're stealing strikes, doing it, and he does a beautiful job of it.
Chip, with the way this park played, you're similar to it with High Corbett. You had the outfielders back. Do you think if you wanted to have them deep because of trying to avoid the doubles there in the 8th inning there?
No, Brian, I guess you're playing a semi no doubles. It's so big, you're just playing where you play. If you look at where everybody's going to play deep here. That's just the way it goes. The one that obviously Summerhill's ball would have liked for him to get to it and hold him to a single. That would have been great, but it's just so hard where it landed and went to the right. And then the next one, to Walton, were we too deep? I don't know. That's I'm not going to second guess it right now.
We'll have time for one more question.
Yeah, Chip, how did you decide in that 8th inning, when to stick with Hicks and when to go to Pluto?
Well, that's Kevin. Kevin and I talked about it. Most of the time he makes the decisions on the pitching, and I'm the guy that goes and takes him out. But I think, the guy's the closer of the year in the country, right? And we just wanted to keep it at 1 run. And that's does not happen very often with Tony Pluta. And Garrett was pitching great. Don't get me wrong. He was doing a fantastic job. Two bloop hits beat him. So, maybe that was a mistake. Tony was ready. He was loose. But he got behind and who was that? Barthel? Who hit that ball? Yeah, did a great job hitting in the gap. I mean, that's really what broke our back. I think one run, we definitely could tie that sucker.
That'll conclude our press conference. Coach,
thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. Just reminders again, as Coastal Carolina is joining us here, please silence all cell phones. Recording press conference video on cell phones is prohibited. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. We'll have 2 mic runners. Please wait for the microphone to reach you before asking a question. If you're joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We will address your questions after we take questions from the room. And now joining us, members of Coastal Carolina head coach Kevin Schnall, Blake Barthel, Cameron Fluke, and Wells Sykes. Gentlemen, congratulations on your victory. We'll start with a brief opening statement from Coach Schnall, and we'll open up the questions from the student athletes.
Well, we've got a dugout full bunch of hungry and humble dogs. And, luckily for us today, we just executed a couple more pitches than they did. But you can clearly see how that team went to Chapel Hill and won 2 games. It's a really good team. They took a lot of really good swings today. And, Wells ran down a couple balls in center field. We were able to, induce a big double play. And, again, we were able to get a couple big hits when it really mattered. And that big inning in the 8th was really critical.
We'll now open up the questions for the student athletes.
Mark Garland, College Baseball Central. Cameron, can you just speak a little bit about going out there and what the game plan was to try to keep you guys in that ball game and going out there and attacking these Arizona hitters?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as always, just going and attacking the plate and trusting what your coach calls and not making the moment too big, too much about yourself, and helping the team win.
Blake, y'all have had a lot of games this postseason where you got behind early or you were tied late in the game and have kept coming back and kept winning. What's been the secret to that kind of streak?
The pitching staff. I mean, when they give up less than 5 runs a game, we can breathe and just relax in the box, and eventually the runs will come.
Kevin, going into Sunday, I'm assuming that. Oh, player, my bad. Hey, Blake, just talk about your game a little bit and blowing that open there in the 8th inning, and just your approach after that moment. Sorry, I just came in.
Yeah. Got to a 3-1 count and was just trying to relax and stay back. I started pretty early and see a pitch down the middle, and that's where I got 3-1, and I was able to smack it.
Noah Bieniek of 11.7. Wells, question for you. The bottom of the order had a heck of a day today, going 8 for 16, 6, 7, 8, 9. 24-game win streak. Obviously, top to bottom, the lineup is very good. The 7th inning or later, 394 batting average as a team with an 1165 OPS. Do you attribute that to more good coaching, good scouting, or is that approach at the plate and mentality?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it goes into preparation from our coaches, but I think it's just the mentality that we have in the dugout. I think, like Blake was saying, and we can trust our pitchers to keep us close in the ball game. We can relax and we can trust the process. And I don't think any of our lineup guys are getting nervous or feeling too much under pressure. We're just going up there with the same plan and same consistency and, just attacking the plan.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. Wells, you've had a knack for some big hits in this run, and I think that's something like 5 multi-hit games in your last 8. It seems like you're dialed right now, and I'm curious, what's been the key for you to kind of be playing your best baseball this time of the year?
Yeah, I mean, this is, probably my last year. This is my last year of college eligibility, and, I'm giving it everything I got for this team, and I got, a ton of respect for my teammates and my coaches, and I think, the big crowds and the loud environments are helping. I think, not just me, but my teammates were locked in, and, we're on a crazy win streak. We're really consistent, so I think that's helped everybody, not just me.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central. Cameron, a bunch of us in media were a little bit surprised that you pitched today. Was there a point that Coach told you were going to get in the game, or were you surprised at all?
Yeah, going in, I knew I was coming out of the pen after Eichhoff, and it was just about helping the team win, keeping us in the game, or closing the game, whatever I needed to do to help the team win.
This question is for all three. You guys, or two of y'all can answer it. Now that you guys have won this game, you're somewhat in the driver's seat going into Sunday's winners bracket game. Just knowing that you guys have gotten an opportunity now to put yourself in that situation, just talk about going into Sunday a little bit, knowing that that situation is right there in front of y'all.
Blake, if you want to take this first and then work your way down.
Yeah, I mean, first game win is huge. Kind of brings pressure off the shoulders a little bit, but we got a game plan, and we're going to stick to it.
I think it's just I think we're just going to go into it like we do every other game and have an off day tomorrow and get after it on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Blake and Cam. Our consistency is shown, and we're just going to attack the plan every day.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Guys, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll now open it up to questions for Coach.
Aaron Fitt again, Coach. Wells down there in the 9-hole. It does feel like he's kind of been that silent assassin a little bit for you guys, right? I mean, just maybe overlooked by some of the bigger name guys here, but he's been clutch for you during this run, and I'm curious if you could kind of comment on what has made him so successful, and what you saw from him when you recruited him this year, and what he's delivered for you.
Basically, besides Caden Bodine, he's the only guy in our lineup that was a Division I 300 hitter before coming into this year. He hit 300 last year at the Citadel. This guy's he's got guts. He's great under tension and stress. He lives for those moments, and you nailed it. I mean, he's had some massive hits this postseason, starting the conference tournament. But I'm really proud of him because he's really worked hard and he's really bought into the Coastal way day one.
Noah Bieniek, 11.7 coach. I'm just curious on the strategy of going Eichhoff to start the game and then Flukie coming in after him. I asked Coach Hale what was working for the two of them, and he really complimented Eichhoff on the sink that he had on his fastball and the curveball going into the lefties.
Well, the strategy was Cameron Flukie's as good as a right-handed pitcher as there is in the entire country. And to have Eichhoff lead it off, and he's more of a sinker slider guy, and Flukie's more of a ride guy, gives you two different looks, and ultimately worked out today.
Kevin, you were here with the 2016 team that won the title on the staff, but how is it different this time, being the head man and it being your second trip?
Well, the processes are the same. Responsibilities are a little bit different. Got to talk behind the mic more. Sometimes I like to just be in the weeds and look at scouting reports and go out the back door and not have to talk to anybody. So that is a little bit of an adjustment. But like I say all the time, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. We were absolutely able to hire one of the premier staffs in the entire country, and they make me look really good.
Andrew Idell, College Baseball Central coach. Dean hasn't gotten an at-bats before the Fairfield game since April 27th. Talk about how he slotted into this lineup and his at-bats today.
Well, Dean was arguably one of our best offensive players at multiple times throughout this year, and unfortunately had an injury, and he's worked really hard to come back, and we discussed it at length last night as a staff, and we went with Dean today, and he really stepped up big time. I mean, especially after that first at-bat where he strikes out, bases loaded, no outs, to come back and then get, deliver 2 hits after that. That's not easy to do. And you look at Sebastian Alexander, he struck out 3 times today, and that dog mentality came through. That was a massive hit there in the 8th to get Blake Barthrow up to the box. And when Blake got that hit, we hit the trifecta. We scored first, we got the big inning, and we got the 7. Dinner reservations were made.
Coach, you have one heck of a backstop in Bodine. He ties the program record for career runners thrown out. He did that in the top of the first inning. Bottom of the first inning, he leads it off with a hit. Can you just talk about, maybe comment, how he set the tone today?
Well, I think that's being kind, one heck of a backstop. He's the best backstop in the entire country, hands down, non-negotiable, and we're really lucky to have that guy on our team the last 3 years. And like I've said, since January, I'm just upset it's only got 1 more year to watch it, and now I look at it, we only have a couple more weeks to watch it. That guy's going to play in the major leagues.
Hey, Coach. Peter Burnett from the Council Bluffs Nonpareil. My question was actually going to be about Sebastian and that hit, having struck out the 3 times before. But what did you just kind of see in terms of your team's composure? All those hits in the 8th inning came with 2 outs. And what did you see from him in just being able to approach and get that hit there?
Well, he had 3 strikeouts, and to their pitcher's credit, they have good stuff. As good as our offense was, there was a lot of times where we didn't do a good job of deciphering the difference between a strike and a ball. Way too many chases, and that put us in bad situations. He had 3 strikeouts today, but he just has that mentality. He's that kind of kid where he's just going to rise up to those moments. And again, we were up, but that hit was really big. And then obviously Blake's double to get us that big inning. That was the nail in the coffin.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central coach. There's been so many fearless moments on this run. Where do you think all this confidence on this team comes from?
It's a good question. If I had that answer, I'd be a multi-billionaire. I don't know. At the end of the day, we just try to attack our one-day plan. We keep our head down. We stay humble. We stay very hungry. And our attention to detail. We feel like our attention to detail is what separates us day in and day out.
Yeah, Kevin, you've had one of the best pitching staffs in the country for the entire season. What's been the key of developing this pitching staff, especially since it's mostly guys that have been in your program for a couple of years?
Well, listen, our pitchers are executing the pitches, but I'd be remiss if I didn't comment on our pitching coach, Matt Williams. I mean, he's an elite. There's a lot of people out there that are coaches. This guy is different. He's a teacher. He motivates. He inspires. He's demanding. He's aggressive. He's consistent. That's what separates him. And he's injected a lot of confidence into our pitching staff, and there's a reason why. That's a big reason why we have one of the premier pitching staffs in the country.
Kevin, you went obviously with Cameron and Riley today. Their pitch counts were not very high. So going back to 16, you guys had to piecemeal that group, those pitchers, all the way through to win the national championship. I'm assuming that with these guys not being up there in pitch count, that you can bring these guys back relatively quickly if need be.
That's a good offense. That they made Fluky work. I mean, he went 4 innings and threw 71 pitches. So, I mean, we're going to have to manage him a little bit. Eichhoff was only at 45. I mean, he's as efficient as anybody in the country. 4 innings, 45 pitches. So Eichhoff absolutely will be able to bounce back quick. But our focus is on the next game, and the next game is going to be Jacob Morrison.
Take one more question.
Coach, Blake, right now, the run that he's on, I mean, it seems like he's been really, again, consistently excellent for you down this whole run. Does it feel like he's where he was when he was red hot at the start of last year, or is he even better than that? And also, what was kind of the key for you to kind of bring him back to this level of performance?
Well, Blake Barthel is one of the most complete players to ever play at Coastal. I mean, if you look at his full game, power, speed, short game, defense, base running, he does it all. This guy was a walk-on that just showed up to Labor Day camp. He was number 53 red shirt, backfield. Name wasn't even circled. It's an unbelievable story. He's a worker, he's a grinder, and I'm really happy for him.
That'll conclude our press conference. Coach, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thanks for joining us.